This may just be the best resume that I have ever seen. Blake, is that you? Very nice to meet you, Blake. Very nice to meet you too. The first question I have for you, Blake, is what is the most important role of your current position and why? I believe that the most important role of my current position is just being available for the residents. As a preferred RA, I am aware that preferred residents may not need as much of my assistance as maybe a traditional resident would need. But with that being said, I still think it's really important to develop those personal relationships with your residents. That way, when they do have a problem, they feel more than comfortable with actively seeking you out. Very good answer, Blake. Very good answer. Very insightful. My second question I have for you is what is something you have learned about yourself this year from being in your current position, and where do you personally see you still need growth? One thing I learned about myself this year as a result of being an RA is that I'm actually less of an introverted person than I thought I was. Freshman and sophomore year, I was pretty shy on campus. I wasn't really involved. But when I became a resident advisor, I took it upon myself to get more out there in the community here at St. Ambrose. I joined a couple different clubs. I joined intramural sports. I'm more comfortable talking to people who I've never met before. As far as growth, I still believe that I can grow in my time management skills. Um, Taking this position actually really helped me a lot with that because by joining these different clubs and by having the RA tasks that I have to do weekly, um, it really pushes me to manage my time better. That way I can get everything accomplished that I need to, and it really kind of teaches you to use your time more efficiently. Wow, just truly inspirational. The ability for you to dig deep within yourself to find these answers is just outstanding. This leads me to my next question, which I want you to describe your biggest success and challenge this year as an RA in your current position. My biggest success this year actually pertains to one resident in particular whose name is Alex. Alex told me that I was the first of his three RAs to ever get his name right on the door decks, as well as by call him by the right name in person. Since then, Alex has referred to me as a good friend, and we talk to each other daily. Developing these personal relationships and making residents feel like they really matter on campus, at least to somebody, is one of the main reasons why I want to join Res Life in the first place. My biggest challenge this year was breaking the barrier of getting to know the first floor residents. As an RA in North Preferred, I live on a different floor than half of my residents. To combat this, I tried to take the stairs as often as possible, which would force me to walk down that hallway, which increases the chances of getting to see those residents and gives me another chance to spark up a conversation with them. You know what I like most about your answer? What I like most about your answer is how humble you can be about your successes. As far as your challenge goes, it's common knowledge around the Res Life department that preferred residents may be the harder community to reach out to. With that being said, breaking these barriers is the key to being a successful RA in the preferred community. Our next question reads, how would you help others on your floor be tolerant of one another's differences? On a daily basis, I would help others be more tolerant of each other's differences by setting an example myself in tolerating differences amongst everybody on the floor. Another thing to do might be to point out the similarities between two individuals. Even though those individuals may be different, there is probably something that will most likely bind them to have a similarity between one another. In a more impactful way, I would like to host a diversity program that really focuses on the point that these differences are what make people individuals and what make them unique to one another. Everything you just said was greatness. It it was just a bunch of greatness wrapped up in a great ball of greatness. This leads me to wonder, what motivates you to come back for another year? There are quite a few things that motivate me to come back for another year. The first of those would be the personal relationships I've developed with my residents. Just knowing that the reason that why I want to be here is actually the purpose I am serving. Another reason I want to come back is that the staff is great. I always have a blast when hanging out with staff, whether it's my own or just anyone a part of the Res Life staff. And the last reason I want to come back is I really want to meet next year's staff and residents. I want to take the skills that I learned this year and keep building upon those. Blake, that was a truly spectacular interview. I will now open the floor up to the senior staff for any questions that they might have.